Hey guys, welcome to, we're still in Unit 1, and we're talking about Lesson 2.5 today. And this is going to be the compound part of our inequalities lesson that we talked about in 2.4. So we're going to start off here, and our goal is to get x by itself. So I'm going to subtract 3 to everything. So I have 2 is less than 2x is less than or equal to 8. And then I'm going to divide everything by 2. I get 1 is less than x is less than or equal to 4. Okay, so if I were to graph this, it's either going to be an open circle or parentheses, however you like to use it, on 1, and a closed circle or bracket on 4 with an arrow connecting the 2. So it also says write in interval notation. So it would be parentheses 1. So it begins at 1, but there's an open circle, so that's a parentheses, and it ends at 4, and it's a closed circle, so that's a bracket. Okay, so I want you to try this one and this one. So treat each of these as their own and just solve for x. Same thing with down here. Treat each of these as their own and solve for x. So I wanted to point out these two because they're kind of weirdos. So notice that both of them, they're going in the same direction. So you really have to think about what we've learned about and or from that lesson 1 in unit 1. So and is where they intersect. So what do they have in common? Well, so let me just color. So right here, that's where they start having things in common. So where do they begin? They begin at 7. Where do they end? They end in positive infinity. Okay, so the difference with or, remember, or is that union. So everybody's coming to the wedding. So just it's there. If something is going on, then we're going to include that in our interval notation. So in this case, this begins in negative infinity down here, but it ends all the way up at 9. So I just wanted to make that clear. Go ahead and do 3 really quickly, and we'll see how it's a little different. So this is probably what you're used to. So the graphing probably isn't anything new, but the interval notation is always kind of yucky for these. So we're going to take these in 2 as like 2 different interval notations. So let's start here. Where does it begin? It begins in negative infinity. Where does it end? It ends at 3. Okay, let's go over here. This one begins at 9 and it ends in positive infinity. Okay, we are going to connect them because it's an or. We're going to connect them with the union symbol. So this whole thing is going to be our answer. Okay, so let's look at number 5. It's a word problem. Go ahead and read through it and just see what you can do to make sense of it. Try to come up with an inequality. Okay, so this is how we are going to set up an equation. So let's kind of focus on this part. So, well, actually, let's talk about the ends. So 70 and 79 inclusively. So I can get a 70. So I'm including 70 and I'm including 79. So those are going to be my minimums and maximums there. Okay, so in the middle, it says the midterm is worth 1/3 of the overall grade, and we know what she got. She got a 64%. But the final is 2/3 of her grade, but we don't know what she's going to get on that. So we're going to put a X there. So we're going to just solve it from here. So now it's just like a basic algebra problem. So we're going to solve it from here, and go ahead and try it on your own and see what you get for X. Okay, so I have my work here. So I looked at it as like one big fraction over 3. So then I just multiplied everything by 3 to get rid of the fraction. And I ended up that she must score between a 73% and an 86.5% to get a C on it. Okay, so now we're going to kind of switch gears. So this is incorporating like that lesson 1 stuff. I just wanted to kind of go over it before we leave it alone. So our test is coming up really, really quickly. So this will be a good review. So go ahead and do 6, 7, 8, and 9 for me. Okay, so remember, union is everybody's coming to the party or the wedding or whatever. So it's just, where does it start happening? Where does it end? So it starts at -3 and it ends at 15. And over here, the intersection is what they have in common. So I'm just focusing on that part there. So those are going to be brackets. So 2, 11, and they're brackets because they're closed dots. Down here, notice that this is an or because there's two separate pieces are not coming together. And number 9 is an and or an intersection, same thing, because they are coming together. So if you remember that from Unit 1, you are going to do awesome, awesome, awesome on that part of the test. Thanks a lot, guys.